If the front of your thighs feel tight, your quadricep muscles could be strained from sports activities such as biking, or from sitting too long, or there may even be an issue with the low back. There's one nerve, the femoral nerve, that attaches to the low back, L2 through 4, and weaves its way to the front side of the leg. If the fascia, the muscles get tight, sometimes that causes some pain. So these are some yoga poses that you can do to address that pain. Obviously, you'll want to talk to your doctor if the pain is severe, but these are some stretches that you can do to create just a little bit more freedom and spaciousness on the fronts of the legs. We'll begin on our belly. Come to your belly and come to a Sphinx position. Draw your elbows back toward your pelvis. Reach your heart forward to get a little bit of opening in the upper chest. Now place your hands right alongside your ribs. With the fingers pressing down, come to a fingertip top position. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, lower down. Hug your elbows in. Lift up. See if you can do more lifting from the back muscles. Not so much weight on your fingers. And release down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Make this a nice, slow and easeful action. Lifting up. Exhaling down. 3 more. Lift up. Slowly come down. For the last 2 cycles, bend your knees, activate your feet, spread your toes, with the fingers still pressing firmly down, your elbows still hugging in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Release your feet. Come to all fours position. You may want to use blocks now. If you don't have them, that's not an issue, but I like the height that the blocks give you, a little bit more freedom. Step your right foot right between your blocks. Walk your blocks back if you have them and settle into the pose. If you feel like your back knee is not so happy with this, please double fold your mat there. As you just pause, just pulse in the pose, pulsing up and dropping in. Just a nice, easy breath here as you make the movements. Lifting up and down. Just notice a nice thigh stretch you get there. Keep this nice, easy pulsation. Now to get even more length, keep your right hand to the block. Take your left arm up. Reach your left arm over. And do that same, just easy movement. You're just lifting up slightly and dropping deeper into the pose. Release your hand and come to the opposite side. So in all fours position, step your left foot forward, drop in, and get a nice line up. The wrists right under the shoulders, settle deep. You feel a nice stretch there. If this is the side where you feel a little bit more tightness, you might want to stay here just a little bit longer. So as you just pulse into the pose, lifting slightly, not jerky, not fast movements, just slow and steady, lifting away from the mat, drawing deeper down. You keep your back leg very active. You're pressing your toenails down to keep a strong engagement there. Now take your left arm up and over your head so you get even more length on that side as you just pulse up and drop in. You allow your breath to create that spaciousness all the way from the pelvis to the armpit. Release your hand. Now come to lie on your back. You'll be elevating your pelvis, so you may want to use your blocks. Lift your pelvis, slide your block or blocks. I'm using 2 blocks, but just any height that feels right for you. You get this nice stretch of the whole front side of the body. Draw your right knee in. Reach your left leg out. Lift your left leg up. Reach it out. We're working on as much extension as possible. Reach up and let it settle in. Have your toes be very active. And again, on that side that you feel more tightness, you'll want to do a few more repetitions. Lift up with control. Draw down. Lift up. Draw down. You can release your feet to the mat. Get this nice opening of the upper chest. Draw your left knee in. Let's give it a hug in. Reach your right leg out. Lift your right leg up. Reach out. Lift up. Reach out. You want to go really slow for the extension. Lift up. Draw down, so slow. Lift up, draw down. Lift up and down. If you're keeping your toes active, your toes spread, you might feel like the muscles are getting slightly fatigued in these repetitions. So by all means, if you feel any pain, stop right away. But if you can manage a slow and steady movement, continue that. Now bend both knees, plant your feet, keep your pelvis elevated. Close your eyes for a moment. in this supported bridge pose. Just notice the length that you've given the front side of the body. Remove your blocks. Come to a seated pose in Virasana, the pose that also gives you a nice stretch to the tops of the thighs. You can elevate your pelvis if you feel any tightness in the knees. Please elevate quite a bit so that you can get one last stretch to the tops of the thighs. Thanks for joining me in this practice. Namaste.